today we will focus ourselves on the anterior teeth access cavities. Always keep it in mind whenever you want to do the root canal, you should know the average length of the tooth, and this average length of the tooth may vary with the disease, age or trauma, and you should keep this in mind. For example, if the maxillary anterior is 22.8, lateral is 22.5, and if these lengths, canine is 26 mm, these lengths they will vary with age, disease and trauma. And the most important thing is you should keep the anatomic relationships of these teeth in mind, as the maxillary central incisor is related to the nasal cavity. The lateral incisor is having a distal hook. The canine is related with the levator muscle of upper lip. And always keep it in mind fenestrations and dehiscences while doing the root canal treatment, because the labial surface of the root is in approximation with the cortical plate, and these dehiscences and fenestrations can happen. And all the anteriors, they are having the same landmarks. The first landmark is always a incisal aspect of the cingulum. The second landmark is long axis of the tooth, and the third landmark is triangle number 1. I mean to say the lingual shoulder, and the fourth landmark is triangle number 2, means incisal triangle. And finally, you should involve the pulp horns. The central incisor having 3 pulp horns, that is why the resultant access cavity is triangular, and the lateral is having 2 pulp horns, the resultant access cavity is oval, and whereas in the canine it is plane shaped. When you are doing the root canal in the lower anteriors, even then you should keep it in mind the length. First of all, a healthy tooth length, and again this length will vary with age, disease and trauma. The landmarks are same. The only exception is lower central, lower laterals. They may have 2 canals, maybe a 1 root, but 2 canals. And to negotiate the lingual nerve, you have to extend your access cavity lingually slightly.